So another Xbox exclusive is coming to PlayStation 5, the next PlayStation Showcase / State of Play, and new details on Ghost of Yotei. And those are the stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, yes or no, have you bought any of the Xbox games coming to PlayStation 5 or not? We've had Forza, Indiana Jones, Doom, Sea of Thieves, etc. A bunch of Xbox games coming to PlayStation 5 and obviously more to come. So comment below yes or no if you've been buying any of the Xbox games on PlayStation 5 or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, another Xbox exclusive is coming to PlayStation 5. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, it was only a matter of time, but the long-rumored Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 PS5 port has finally been announced. Ninja Theory made the announcement as a special update to mark the game's one-year anniversary. Although a release date wasn't announced, Ninja Theory confirmed that Hellblade 2 will launch on the PlayStation 5 this summer, so it won't be long before players get their hands on it. The game, skipping PlayStation platforms, didn't sit quite well with fans of the first game, which originally launched as a timed PlayStation 4 exclusive. Hellblade 2 can be wishlisted on the PlayStation Store right now. The game's PlayStation Store page confirms that it'll be PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced. What those enhancements will entail remains to be seen. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 arrives optimized for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced, with added features and immersive haptic feedback for new ways to experience the award-winning and critically acclaimed next chapter of Senua's story, reads the PlayStation Store listing. So I didn't get a chance to cover this on my last video because I think this news popped off right after. So Hellblade 2 is finally coming to PlayStation 5, a rumor that we've heard about for a while. I've already played the game on Series X, and my thoughts were that the game was visually amazing. Visuals, amazing. It looks amazing to see that run in real time. But the gameplay itself is where it doesn't hit. It gets boring after a bit of playtime. I'm curious to see what these added features are that are being added to this version of the game and what makes it enhanced. If there is a way to make the gameplay maybe a bit more engaging, I'm not sure if they had enough time to do something like that, then you have my interest. Again, let's see how it differs. The game is set to launch this summer. Not sure why they just don't give us a date at this point, but let's see how this goes. And if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers. Now, diving into the second story of the video, new details on Ghost of Yotei. So Ghost of Yotei has been rated in Korea, and I think some of this stuff we've heard about before and some maybe we haven't. Reading from Twisted Voxel, Ghost of Yotei has been officially rated 19+ by the Game Rating and Administration Committee of Korea. The decision reflects the game's mature content, which includes sexual themes, explicit violence, simulated gambling, and substance use. According to the Korean Ratings Board, the game includes direct sexual expressions with female character designs featuring sexually suggestive exposure. Combat scenes are described as graphically violent with frequent depictions of blood and physical damage. The rating also highlights in-game minigames that simulate speculative behavior, such as gambling with betting systems and payouts. In addition, Ghost of Yotei portrays characters engaging in substance use, including smoking and alcohol consumption. These scenes are said to produce visual effects like screen blurring to reinforce their impact. So there's a lot going on here. Violence, we know about that. I wonder how much more gruesome it gets here versus the first game in terms of executions. Female character designs featuring sexually suggestive exposure. Now, I'm not sure if this is referring to your skins, or is this maybe in reference to the hot springs feature being implemented here as well, like they had in the first game, which I know is clearly a concern for a lot of players out there. It also mentions screen blurring when drinking. I assume this is just a cutscene situation since it mentions scenes, but it would have been wild to be able to get drunk in game and then try to fight in a GTA-like blurry screen, just missing your hits. Either way, I'm excited for the game's launch come later this year in October, but you guys let me know if you're excited for Ghost of Yotei or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, the next PlayStation Showcase / State of Play. So I'm not going to be covering the false rumor that popped off before Jeff Grubb's comments about there not being an event. We'll put that to the side. If you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, it doesn't really matter. Jeff Grubb, who's been on point when it comes to PlayStation events, has come out once again to state that there will be a PlayStation event this summer. Here's what he said. PlayStation event in June. That's the entirety of what I can confirm. No specific dates. Not sure if it's a State of Play or a big boy showcase, but I lean towards State of Play. That's it. Anything else that people add is their own speculation. So he's making it clear that anything that's been going off by other people is not something he backs. He also mentioned that him leaning towards it being a State of Play is speculation on his part, not that the source said this. All he knows is that there is an event in June, and it could be either one of those, a State of Play or a showcase. My worry here is something I've seen other people mention, which is that could this be a Death Stranding 2 State of Play since the game launches later that month? I personally don't see that being the case because, again, Death Stranding 2 drops the same month. I don't think we've seen a dedicated State of Play event for a game that drops the same month that the State of Play happens. They're usually a bit earlier, I believe. I could see Death Stranding 2 showing up with a new trailer, potentially maybe a little gameplay snippet at this event. Either way, there are things to show off, and I assume we should be seeing the reported God of War spin-off here, which was also reported on by Jeff Grubb. Last year, he said Astrobot would be announced and drop later that year, and it did. So I assume a similar situation could be going on this year as well with this new God of War spin-off. Maybe it gets announced at this State of Play and drops later this year. Maybe also Sorrow's gameplay shows off here as well, since the studio themselves said that they have gameplay coming this year for the game, so it could pop up here or of course at a later event in September or something like that. Let's see how this goes, but you guys let me know what you want to see from this event. Let me know down in the comments below, and if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun. Down in the comments below if you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is the body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "Do It Big Sony." I honestly hope that Sony does a proper, decent, showcase type of event. When I say showcase, I'm referring to the type of events that we had like in 2021 or something like that, something that gets people excited again, because they have so many games that they can show off, and they just need to do that. Obviously, Ghost of Yotei, give us proper gameplay. Announce this potential God of War spin-off. Give us some of that Sorrow's gameplay. I would love to hear more about Wolverine. Anything, any little thing. Maybe another trailer, not necessarily gameplay, just anything to keep us going. And maybe a gameplay trailer later this year with the early launch for 2026 for Wolverine. But again, I'm getting sidetracked. But just show off some good stuff at this event. I hope that's the case. If you want that to be the case as well, destroy the comment section with "Do It Big Sony," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.